Imagine a time when the worlds of rap and metal collided, creating a musical explosion that promised to shake the industry to its core. That was the vision behind Loud Rocks, a 2000 crossover album that, on paper, seemed destined for greatness. Steve Rifkind, the mastermind behind Loud Records, believed this project would be the pinnacle of his career. But here's where it gets controversial. Despite its ambitious premise, Loud Rocks never quite reached the heights Rifkind envisioned. Why? Let's dive into the story behind this bold experiment and explore what went right, what went wrong, and why it still sparks debate today. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the fusion of rap and metal was more than just a trend, it was a cultural phenomenon. Nu metal bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit were collaborating with hip-hop icons, blurring genre lines and captivating audiences. Rifkind, inspired by a live performance featuring Rage Against the Machine and Wu-Tang Clan, saw an opportunity to capitalize on this momentum. But was Loud Rocks truly groundbreaking, or was it just riding the wave of an existing movement? And this is the part most people miss: Loud Rocks wasn't the first project to merge these genres. Back in 1993, the Judgment Night soundtrack paired artists like Slayer and Ice-T, Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill, creating a template for cross-genre collaborations. While the film flopped, its soundtrack remains a cult classic. Later, in 1997, the Spawn soundtrack took a different approach, blending heavy metal with EDM and trip-hop. So, was Loud Rocks innovative, or was it simply following a well-trodden path? Rifkin's approach with Loud Rocks was unique in one key way. Instead of creating entirely new tracks, he brought metal and rock artists to rework existing hip-hop songs from his label's roster, including Wu-Tang Clan, Big Pun, and Mobb Deep. This decision led to some bold, and, at times, jarring, collaborations. System of a Down's animated style clashed with Wu-Tang Clan's raw energy on Shame, a remake of the 1993 track Shame on a Nia, complete with controversial lyrics that might not fly today. Similarly, Black Sabbath's Ozzy Osbourne and Tony Iommi joined Wu-Tang Clan on For Heaven's Sake, but the result felt uneven. Was this a daring creative choice, or a misstep that diluted the album's impact? Despite these challenges, Loud Rocks had its shining moments. Incubus's contribution to Big Pun's Still Not a Player stands out as a fun and memorable track. Dead Prez's hip-hop gained an industrial edge thanks to Static X, and Sick of It All brought New York hardcore flair to Mobb Deep's Survival of the Fittest. Yet, the album's overall lack of star power from the metal side left it feeling inconsistent. Did Rifkin's vision outpace the execution, or was the album simply ahead of its time? In a recent interview on the Bootleg Kev podcast, Rifkind reflected on Loud Rocks, admitting he thought it would be the biggest album of his career. He even hired someone to oversee the project, confident it would surpass the Jay-Z and Linkin Park collaboration that came later. But when asked if the album was expensive to produce, Rifkind revealed the real challenge: securing clearances from other artists' labels. Was this a logistical hurdle, or a sign that the industry wasn't ready for such a bold experiment? Interestingly, Rifkind faced no resistance from his hip-hop artists when asking them to collaborate with metal and rock acts. By the late 90s, artists like Korn and Limp Bizkit were already working with rap legends like Ice Cube and Method Man, so the idea wasn't as far-fetched as it might seem. The early 2000s saw a surge in similar crossovers, including Take a Bite Outta Rhyme, a rock tribute to rap, and Too Legit for the Pit, Hardcore Takes the Rap. But did these projects dilute the impact of Loud Rocks, or did they simply highlight the growing appetite for genre-bending music? While Judgment Night and Spawn achieved gold status in the US, Loud Rocks has faded into relative obscurity. Yet, it hasn't been completely forgotten. In 2024, the Alcoholics revisited their track Make Room, replacing Sugar Ray's contributions with new parts from Spooky Bands. And Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith recently performed his Loud Rocks collaboration with Wu-Tang Clan and Tom Morello live in the studio. Does this resurgence signal a renewed appreciation for the album, or is it merely a nostalgic nod to a bygone era? As we reflect on Loud Rocks, it's clear that Rifkin's vision was both ambitious and flawed. The album may not have been the career-defining moment he hoped for, but it remains a fascinating chapter in the history of genre fusion. Was Loud Rocks a missed opportunity, or a bold experiment that paved the way for future collaborations? We want to hear your thoughts, let us know in the comments below.